Today I wanted to try and give you guys a few different ideas on how to break yourselves out of your songwriting rut. This happens to everybody out there who writes songs, myself included, but through a few simple changes, I was able to really turn that whole thing around at the end of the summer, and I've been putting out songs every single Monday. A lot of you guys have commented asking, how am I doing that? How am I able to write a song, record a song, edit a song, film a song, the video, everything happens in one day, and it starts with writing the song. So the very first thing I wanted to talk about is a method that I pretty much just stole from Paul McCartney, because Paul McCartney, if you're going to steal from anyone, steal from the best, right? So one of the things that you read about a lot in interviews with Paul is, in the old days, he used to have a piano. He might still, I don't know, have a piano right next to his bed. He would talk about I would open my eyes, roll out of bed, and just start playing piano and writing songs. I've totally taken that idea and applied it to my own method. Basically, I just wake up and no coffee, no food, no nothing. I get out of bed, I walk into my studio, and I pick up an instrument, maybe turn on a keyboard, piano, what it may be, and I just start writing right out of the gate in that foggy moment. That's been really interesting for me. It just makes things, easier. I feel like it's easier for me to come up with chord progressions. I don't know what it is about that foggy morning moment that makes me a little bit less reserved and just less like I give a shit, kind of, Anyway, that early morning thing has really been working for me, so I suggest you guys try it. Like I said, before coffee, before your morning cigarette, whatever it is, don't do it. Whatever your morning routine is, you got to break that routine, because that's what we're talking about, breaking your old routines, okay? So the second thing I want to bring up here is something I've talked about in other videos a lot, is the inner critic. That's the little voice in your head that says that chord is bad, that progression is bad, those words are bad, that melody is bad, whatever it is. You need to take that inner critic, throw him out of the room, and never let him back in. He does not deserve to be in the room during the creative process. He's a critic. He has nothing to do with creating music, right? He's a critic. They don't count in the creation process. So if you have one of those that screams really loudly in your head, get rid of it. Just get rid of it. Don't listen to it. Ignore it, ignore it, ignore it, and finish your song, right? That inner critic is most likely the reason that you're not finishing your songs, because you're getting to some point where you're like, that could be better, and then you get bogged down and you don't do it. That's because the inner critic is talking and not the musician and whatever. Somebody in your head's talking to you saying that's no good, and that is no good. You don't need that in the writing process. You need to be productive and you need creative thought, okay? So get rid of your inner critic. Super simple. The third thing that I wanted to talk about is, I've read a lot of interviews with Bob Dylan's a good example. John Lennon talked about this. Paul McCartney has talked about this. Like when he was writing Yesterday, it was a dream, right? So the idea is that we are divining songs from the universe, right? We are just the medium through which the songs come through. I love this idea. It makes it so much easier to get rid of your inner critic. If you're just like, I'm this piece of equipment and the music exists in the world, however you want to think of it, the music's all out there. The songs are out there. You just got to catch one and be able to apply it and turn it into an actual piece of music that other people can listen to. I love this idea, you guys. It makes it so much easier for some reason to just once I made that shift, that was another thing that really made it a lot more easy for me to just finish a song. I'm not here trying to manipulate the song to form it into something that I think is good. I'm just taking the song from the universe and putting it on paper and the guitar, right? I think that's a really nice way to think about it. I think it relieves myself of a lot of responsibility. You know what I mean? Like I just get it from the universe, man, and I put it on paper. I didn't write it. I was just the conduit. I just think that's something you guys might want to try to think about. Put yourself in that mindset a little bit while you're writing songs. The fourth and final thing I want to talk about is super unconventional, and it's something that I've been doing to myself and for this songwriting process. But that is basically, I don't eat during those days when I'm writing those songs. Remember when we were young and we were quote unquote hungry? Well, that term hungry, I'm taking that a lot more literally these days. And so by that, I mean that like I wake up, I start writing my songs, no coffee, no nothing until maybe like around 11 or noon where I really need my coffee. And I just try not to eat until the song and everything's done. And sometimes that takes all day. So yeah, you do get hungry, but being physically hungry through the writing process, I don't know why, but it seems to make me a little bit more productive. Now, of course, if you have health restrictions why this isn't going to work for you, don't listen to me. I'm not a health expert. I am a music producer and a musician by trade and by heart, you know? But if you are somebody who can go many hours without eating, you might try it. It's different, and it does sort of, you know, it changes you internally, chemically. Things change if you're not bogged down with food. Now, I will say that I do sometimes go out and I'll grab a banana, I'll eat an apple, maybe a couple of mixed nuts or whatnot, but I try to eat healthy things when I gotta eat, right? I'm getting a little oh, my blood sugar's low, whatever it may be. I definitely make an effort to go eat healthy things instead of junk food, which I know are gonna spike my sugar and then kill me. So I just don't recommend eating junk food in those moments. Eat a piece of fruit, do yourself a favor. But those are some things that I've worked out that have worked really well for me in the last few months. I've been cranking out songs every single week. And in fact, this week I wrote 3 songs just because they just sort of felt like they were coming to me. And I would sit here and I would be listening to albums or something. I'm really trying to do something different for next week. And so I wanted to come up with, I just need to be studying. I need to be listening to these bands that I want to emulate a little bit, songs that I like, and I'm trying to be a little more experimental, but we'll see if I get the guts to do it or if I write a good enough song. But anyway, you guys, I think that's about it for today. Please check out all those Monday videos if you're curious about the songs that I write. They come out every Monday. I do have a playlist. It's called My Garage Band Recordings. I'm also on Patreon if you guys are interested in supporting my channel. There's lots of great rewards over there, mix notes being my favorite. If you're in the process of mixing a song, you can send me a rough mix and I can give you tips on how to get a great mix out of that rough mix. But the other thing is Patreon is what is making this channel survive. We are turning 9 years old in November. Been doing this YouTube thing for a long time, so I'd really love to see the channel continue to grow and more people watching. So if you hit that like button, that more people watch the videos because they see it more. Hit that like button. And if you feel like clicking on another thing, hit that subscribe button. Just a little click. Super easy thing to do. You guys have a fabulous weekend out there. Get to writing songs. Get rid of that inner critic. Try to do it hungry. Try to do it first thing in the morning and see what happens. Maybe something will change in your process, but that's basically the entire concept. Change your process around. See what happens. You guys have an awesome day. Talk to you later. Peace.